Hi, I'm Fred Corral, and today I want to talk about the changeup. The key to understanding how to throw a changeup is understanding that the ball has parts. Understanding that the ball has parts is essential, and I'm not talking about just seams and leather. I'm talking about, if you can imagine this ball being in a cube or a block, when you throw a fastball, your hand stays behind the baseball. So you throw the back of the ball. The ball has a top part, has a bottom part, has a front part, and has an inside ball closest to my head, and it has an outside ball furthest away from my head at release. Okay, so if I understand that the ball has those 6 parts, then making the ball do what I need it to do will be easier by simply throwing a different part of the ball. My fastball is going to be the fastest pitch that I throw because I throw the back of the ball. My hand stays behind the baseball. The reason the cutter and the sinker are 2 pitches that are slower and you can't throw as fast as your fastball is because you get to one side or the other. You get to one side or the other when you throw those pitches. Well, making the changeup slower, you have to get to the back inside part of the baseball. So in a fastball, I would throw here. In a changeup, I would throw the back inside part of this baseball. And notice that I'm using both my throwing fingers will be the part that throws the back inside. You know, we have these 3 fingers that we primarily hold the baseball with. Our middle finger, our index finger, and our thumb. Well, the reason the changeup can be very difficult to throw is that young kids, they get an idea that these 3 fingers always stay behind the baseball. These 2 always stay behind the baseball. So when you add another finger, it doesn't matter what you do, this finger to this hand is always going to revert to moving these 2 fingers back to the back inside or the back of the baseball. So the key is, and this is really how I envisioned the circle change was developed, because people had a tough time of trying to throw the back inside with their hand when they needed to go to the back of the ball, and the ball would come out and it would be too hard. So they understood that these 2 fingers really caused that issue because it always wanted to stay behind the baseball, that they kind of moved it over. And the moment they moved it over in the hand, they said, well, what am I going to do with this finger? Well, if I simply put it here, now this finger is in the back inside. So now, hopefully, this doesn't take as much. Unless it leaves this way, it's still going to be hard. But the key to throwing a changeup, if I throw the back inside, it's going to leave my ring finger and my pinky last. So my ring finger and pinky is going to leave last if I get the hand through. Now, the way that I would recommend you experimenting with a changeup is simply turn your hand over, put the ball in your fingertips, okay? And the reason the ball should be in your fingertips is because every pitch that you throw will be out on your fingertips, okay? I know that some people out there say that you know, if you want to make the changeup slower, simply put the ball deeper in your hand. Well, putting the ball deeper in your hand requires a whole skill in itself, okay? And to simplify the process, keep it throwing the same, and that being that the ball is on your fingers. You can do so by simply placing the ball, kind of cradling it, and then applying your thumb, and now you've got almost like a star type grip to this. Now, here's the key to throwing the back inside of the changeup. It's going to be this type of action that you have with your fingers, this type of action. Now, if I can get you to imagine maybe 2 hands or a narrow space like this out in front of you. Okay, to learn the changeup, you want your hand to not pronate. Though pronating is okay, you can get by with throwing a good changeup without pronating, and by doing simply this with your fingers, getting your fingers to go through that narrow space, one after the other. It's kind of like in grammar school when we would put our fingers and fold them one over the other. Well, it's almost doing that same thing, but without using your other hand, getting those fingers to come through the back inside. In doing so, you'll induce side spin, side rotation to the baseball, which will give it sink and movement. But by putting your hand through the back inside, the ball is not going to retain your hand speed. And here's simply what I mean by that. If my hand stays behind the ball, and I just pat this ball, if I pat this ball just like such, this ball is going to go with direct correlation of the hand speed that I hit it with. So when I do that, that ball goes out. Now if I get the back inside, the ball doesn't retain the hand speed. So a good way to learn that is simply get a double ball. Ball that has, you can get 2 baseballs and get a double head screw or a 2-sided screw and kind of screw them together. You know, one with, first with a vice grip and then putting the other one and then tightening up with 2 baseballs. Or you can get these rubber balls that I got from a pitching machine, and I just simply taped it around it and then taped it in the middle to bring it close together. But simply getting this grip, where I put my middle finger through the middle of both balls, put one finger on each ball, and then my thumb and pinky to the outside of the ball. Now I've got, knowing I've got 2 balls, I'm going to throw ball number 1 first. This is the only thing I want to focus on, is ball number 1. So when I throw ball number 1, I get the back inside of that ball. So you're throwing ball number 1, again, I'm going to have this one go first, and I'm going to get the back inside. Okay, and I did that a little bit slower, and it may look like poor arm action, but I have to do it slower so that you can see it. Another thing that you can use is a hockey puck. Hockey puck is very much like a baseball. Okay, if you held a baseball, it's about the same size and circumference as a baseball. And the hockey puck is going to represent this black line, okay, that's in the baseball. Okay, so as I grip the baseball like such, okay, and you can see the hockey puck, I'm just going to use the hockey puck. And what I want the hockey puck to teach me is when I throw it, I want to get the back inside of this hockey puck. If I don't, and my hand simply stays behind the baseball, this is the rotation that you're going to see out of the hockey. So it's end over end. Okay, that's no different than your fastball. Now, doing a changeup correctly with this hockey puck will make it look more like a frisbee. Okay, so in doing so, I get the back inside, and you can see that frisbee type action. So now when I use with the baseball, you can see the 4-seam grip that I got, and I got it in this cradle. Okay, and now I'm going to throw it back inside. And you can see how that stripe, like the hockey puck, that stripe stays flat. This is a big key when throwing the changeup, is getting your hand back inside and seeing that spin. Hopefully, this helps you out with finding certain tools. A hockey puck is a great tool. If you don't have a hockey puck, find one of those poor guys that dips Copenhagen or snuff. Take it and dump it and fill it up with rocks, okay, and then put some tape around it and use one of those tobacco tins as that same device if you don't have a hockey puck. Or like I said, get a screw and put 2 baseballs together, or put 2 balls, wiffle balls together with tape, and make sure you try to get the back inside by throwing ball number 1. By the hand passing through the inside of the ball will not retain your arm speed, and by not retaining your arm speed, thus it'll be slower. By getting to the back inside, you're going to have movement and action and possibly sink, which makes it an even better and tougher pitch because now you're applying movement to the ball. Again, I hope this helps, and best of luck with you this upcoming season as you pitch the front and back part of the plate by using your changeup. Take care.